Hey, what's up? We're listening to Eternal Champion. I think I did the same sword joke last time I was playing this. The Armor of Ire is on the record player right now. You'll see why in a minute. This came out a few years ago by now, 2016. Yeah. A band that was born out of, I shouldn't say the ashes of Iron Age, but why not? They formed this band. Iron Age was a legendary fast hardcore band out of Texas. This is heavy metal, new age of heavy metal, whatever you want to call it. Deals with swords, Frank Frazetta, fantasy, that kind of shit. Here we go. This record, I must have it's crackling, so I must have played it, I don't know, 100 times. It's a, yeah. When there's an evening here where some people are in the dungeon, pre-COVID, I guess, it's just a party record. Why I postponed, I'll put it a little quiet. I don't know how the mic reacts to the music. Why I postponed this video is because this was coming in and it came in this morning, so while everybody's complaining their packages are lost, my post just shows up on a Sunday. This is Ravening Iron, the follow-up after a Dungeon Synth, let's call it a Dungeon Synth, just a synth tape, and I think one more EP on tape, which is impossible to find. There is the new full-length. There is a new full-length called Ravening Iron. I've listened to it digitally a bunch of times, mostly the A-side, because I wanted to keep some tracks a little fresh for when the vinyl comes in, so that I'm not bored by the record. It's almost impossible since like I said, listening to that over 100 times. On No Remorse Records, this is the back. It is very glossy, so there's going to be some glare. But yeah, really great layout. First one had the warrior rescuing the princess. Now it has the dragon queen on her throne, or the serpent queen, I'm not sure. Does it have a... no. A face in the glare. Get it? Ravening Iron, Skull Seeker, which is the instant track on there, I think. War at the Edge of the End. Coward's Keep, Worms of the Earth, the Godblade, which I love that title, and Banners of Arai. The singer for Iron Age is also the singer for this band. There were a lot of packages with a lot of unnecessary stuff. One package was so big I had to transform this entire room into an Iron Age room, an Eternal Champion room. So yeah, this is the logo, or the skull logo, or the helmet logo. Little piece of artwork by the guy who does Bat Dog. I don't think I see it on here. Okay, cover artwork by Ken Kelly, insert artwork by Bernie. Dragon Helm by Greg Higgins. So yeah, it says here, to our fallen brother Riley Gale, a legend that lives forever in the Hall of Memory, rest in power. So power trip, close connection, of course. The guitar player for Iron Age also played for this band, and yeah, he also sadly passed away. I'm not sure he plays on this record. I'm pretty sure he doesn't play on this record, but he was in an earlier Jason Tarpius vocals. No, he's not on here. I'm blanking on his name right now, which is kind of a shame, but this is the Godblade, I guess. There, he's holding it. He's an ironsmith, is that how you say it? A blacksmith, so he makes these swords himself. They played, I think, one Belgian show, if I'm not mistaken, at some garden shed. That was around the time I think Mimi was getting born, so I didn't make it, but the people who were there, like Axel, my homie, they said it was incredible, and I think live they would be... I don't know how they sound live, but if they sound like they do on record or heavier, check it out. Yeah, it's not. I'm not completely into the new wave of heavy metal, if you will, but yeah, due to the Iron Age link, I checked this out and I immediately fell in love. So cheers to those guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 records. I'll let that play. Do I have a backup? No, so I'll just flip the record in a minute or put something else on. It was my birthday recently, so I my employer gave me a gift certificate for my local record shop, which is appreciated, of course. So I picked up some records that are not really metal because my local record store doesn't carry a lot of metal. It seems like I'm one of the only enthusiasts with a handful in my region that just, you know, collects and listens to that stuff and plays in bands. It's more, yeah, I don't know what genres they play over here, but not my genre. So the first thing I picked up is a Belgian release, and it's Brut XXL by Zwangere Regie, a Belgian MC from Brussels that, yeah, imploded on the scene I think a few years ago by now with his collective stick stuff. So yeah, this is actually the redux of the album that came out I think last year. He dropped 2 records last year. The Brutal, the black and white, and then there was the other one which was called Wie is He or something like that. I'm not sure. I liked the Brutal, but I never got it on vinyl because it was a very expensive record at the time. It was over 30, and I just never got to it to pick it up. But then the Redux is all those tracks from the earlier records except for one, I think, which is a shame because it's a really good track with Blue Samu. That's not on here. But this is then the Redux with 8 extra tracks, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. I love the rework of the artwork, you know, with the tag going over it or the graffiti sprayed on top of it. But yeah. Like I said, there's one track not on here, which is a shame, but yeah. I like it. Fali Ipupa is the best track on here. I think Kenny is the worst track on here. I know the lyrics are saying something about homelessness in Brussels and stuff like that, and, you know, abuse, but it kind of doesn't flow on this record. But what do I know? The pressing is just black, pretty good. I was going to say pretty good pressing, but it's a pretty horrible pressing. This is on Universal, so a major. And I think they're rushing to get some shit records done because this is, you know, like it's not too bad. I'm shivering, too much coffee. It's not too bad, but if you, it's a fruit bowl. It's just like that, and both records are, so. I think the plant is rushing to get some record store day stuff through and then get this through for that. I don't know if this was record store day release, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, a new records or a new EP. So that's 2 full lengths and an EP in, I don't know, 2 years. That's quite good, and it's great. Every time the Gutter Gang or Gutter Gang shows up on this records, it's the best track. So yeah, I got that, and then it was a pretty serious gift certificate. So I got these 2 also. Finally, something to add to the Stooges collection, Metallica KO, their last live show, and then finally I got Funhouse. I'll talk about Metallica KO first. This is a live recording. Does it say on here when the 40th anniversary reissue, the notorious last ever show, as featured in the Jim Jarmusch film Give Me Danger, the limited edition metallic gold vinyl plus a gold poster. That is this one. So yeah, their last show. The last Stooges I showed was live at Goose Lake, and I think that was not their last show. It was their last show with the saxophone player. Where is he? I'm not going to find it now. Forget his name. Here it is. No, it's not on here. But yeah, it was the last time they played, or the first time they played Full House in full. I'm not sure. This is their last show, which is legendary in its own right. So this is the printed inner sleeve, which has some explanations of it all. Yeah. This is about that night. They're talking about that night. So Raw Power, Head On, Gimme Danger, Rich Bitch, Cock in My Pocket, and they do Louie Louie. So yeah. Ron Ashton with his memorabilia in the back. Like I said, this is a gold record. I know it kind of fit the aesthetic of the... I kind of still hate gold. I love it when it flows like that in there, but this is a very light pressing of this one. Very sick picture of Iggy. And any Stooges record in the collection is a, you know, is a good one. I'm not going to get into this too much because I looked it up a bit, but didn't really get into it. It says it's 1976. But yeah, cool record nonetheless. Open Up and Bleed, the last ever Iggy and the Stooges show in Detroit. Of course in Detroit, where else? Into the bag it goes. The sound is actually pretty good. And he had a good night. Iggy had a good night. He's talking to the crowd, and you know, I can't believe we're doing Louie Louie, but then they do it anyway. Then Funhouse, The Beasts. Like I said, I think when last I talked about them, I think that was around the period the box set came out for Funhouse. That is now going for 1,000 and upwards on the second-hand market. So yeah, I decided the first time I find a affordable copy that is affordable and good looking, I'll just grab it, because the perfect copy isn't coming around. And actually this is the perfect copy. It is a just standard black, good pressing, beautiful cover. I'll show the gatefolds. This is actually the complete cover with all the members going through it. On Elektra Records, of course. Here they are on their nice carpets, and it was, let me see, Dave Alexander that I was looking for. This guy, the Black Sabbath looking a motherfucker. So yeah, this is just the bulk of tracks. Down the Street, Loose, TVI, Dirt, 1970, Funhouse, and LA Blues. Yeah, from 1970, and then you get TVI, Loose, Down the Street, Dirt, Lost in the Future, 1970, and Funhouse, all alternate takes of that. You have Iggy Pop, of course, Dave Alexander. No, I was looking for Steve McKay, I'm sorry. Dave Alexander is the bass player. Now I'm mixing shit up. I think it was the bass player who left. I'm not sure, whatever. Yeah. Just a great, great record, and finally have all three in the collection. It's a shame. It's a shame it took that long, but yeah. It comes with the reissued Elektra inner sleeves, and it has the butterfly labels. There you go. It's a shame that it took me so long to get these, because I think the first bands for me, or the top three, where my musical tree starts, is like, I think I narrowed it down to Stooges, Sabbath, I guess, for the metal, Stooges for the punk, and then the Velvet Underground for all the freak stuff we listen to. So yeah, those three, I think, are my classics. Which is not to say there's many more, but you have to, you know. If someone asks what's your first three favorite bands, I think it would be that. Not saying I listened to that shit when I was 5, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that's the gift certificate. Thank you very much, Chief. And then a record I was waiting on for a while because it came from Japan. It is No by Boris. This is the Fangs Anal Satan version of this one. I tried, it was a while now, but I tried to pick up the Japanese pressings of this, not because of the quality, but just because they tend to look at detail a bit more than, for example, Sargent House did a few of their records. Who else pressed some shit for them? I don't know. They had a lot of labels lately, but you know, their own label, or the label they are in close connection with, is Fangs Anal Satan. Now this says also it was Bloodsucker Records, which I think is their own label. Boris's own label. I'll flip this. We have time. It's Sunday. Here we go. It's Sunday. It's freezing cold outside, so we don't have anywhere to go. Maybe in the afternoon. Cheers. So yeah, back into Boris. They dropped a 3 release. You have the Amplifier Worship, the Absolute Ego remasters, and then you have the new album. So it comes with this nice obi. There you go. the Boris Heavy logo. It looks incredible. The pressing too, very good. It's not special, but it's also not a standard pressing. This is the printed inner with all the thank yous to stuff they're playing on. Boris, for the people who don't know, is a Japanese, I should say, power trio consisting of Wata, Atsuo, and I forget the other guy's name. It's not on here, I guess. I'll get Takeshi? Not sure. A power trio that plays a lot of styles. They are mostly known for their drone work, I should say. They did a lot of stuff with Sun, the Kings of Drone by now. They did Alter, for example. So they are a very versatile in sound band. They play heavy rock, they play heavy metal in some parts. This is a very, it has a nice Japanese stuff. This one is a very early punk rock inspired sound that they play with their Japanese sauce dripped all over it. So yeah, Genesis, Antigone, Non-Blood Lore, Temple of Hatred, HCHC, Perforation Line. So yeah, it's their ode to early, you know, San Francisco, West Coast hardcore, and it sounds like it. It's faster tracks, it's harder tracks than the long spun out. It's not as heavy, but it is more abrasive, like a hardcore record would be, I guess. Let's call it that. Yeah, a very good add-on to their selection of styles they're playing. I think these will go over live. They will go over really well if they play them tight together with some longer stuff. Yeah, hardcore perforation line, which is called Fundamental Error, Kiki no Ui. So there is some Japanese things going through it. Yeah, Bloodsucker Records. Not sure if it's sold out, but there will be a normal pressing, I guess. That's the part that is not metal. Now we are diving headfirst into the dark sides. First thing I'm going to show is the Quires demo compilation. I had written it down somewhere. I think I lost the paper because I talked about this in the podcast. Oh, here it is. Handy, handy. I don't know everything by head. I'm too old to remember everything from the top of my head, but there already is something dropping out here. Sanguinas Equinox, Breed of Pestilence by Sinal Rex. Very colorful for the label. Nice looking card. So yeah, Quires, I got it from Sinal Rex. I got a mail, it said Quires, and I clicked through because if you know, you know, but if you don't know, Quires records are not easy to come by. Not everything is great. The last records, I talked about it with David, my buddy. He is under the same. He's of the same impression. It's not mind-blowing because I think the expectations were a bit too high. But yeah, you know, maybe next time. It's not a bad record in any way, but it's just not what we expected. Let's say that. That came out on Terratur, I think. This came out on Vermines Pestifera, and this is, like I said, a compilation of their mid-demo material. I don't think early. It is from 2011. No. What is this? XX1. So 2001, 2002, 2003. I'm not sure. It's Lies from the Gutter, Hearse to the Church, and Sumuxi Silvestine or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, great to have these demos because the tapes are impossible to find. So the sound is great. It's all Quires. The way the music sound is awesome. The way the record sounds is atrocious. If you think the Zwangerie is a bad pressing, this is off the chain. How bad this is. A rehearsal recording from the Elemental Kevin. This copy goes to. So normally it was name signed to each buyer or individual, but yeah. This is pressed. I think it's one of those Italian pressing plants that also did some of the yeah, where a lot of black metal labels have their stuff pressed, because it has this thick extra border with the hump on it, that kind of gives a hint that it's pressed there. It is, you know, it's warped a bit, but it's, when you look at it, when you play it, I don't think the center label is dead center, so it just, the needle just walks all over the record, and you know, you can hear it. It just slows down here and there. It distorts the sound a bit. Now, all in all, it is passable, but you know, to pay, it is not a fortune to pay for this record, but to have one record shipped from Portugal, let's say the record was 25 or something like that, with shipping, yeah, it's getting up there. So it was a gamble to get some extra Quires vinyl in there, and it's by no means bad. Love the cover, but yeah, it's shit pressing. Then into the good pressings. The first drop is from Black Gangrene, and I have two Banner of Blood. I picked them up on a whim because I wanted to listen to this again, but I haven't. This will show up in a tape delay that I'm going to do. Now the tape delay is going to be another, yeah, encapsulating one that shows all the things I had from trades and Unearthing Darknesses that came in. So there will be some stuff that you have seen before, but there's new stuff also. And it's for the people who are not into the unboxing stuff, yeah, that are just looking for tape delays. So not everyone is looking at every video, it seems, because I asked some people. Let's delve in. So Zubak from America. This is, I am not 100% sure it's the same guy as Volok, but I think it is. This is the demo one, Solipsistic Canticles Under Ruptured Skies, which is once again a mouthful. Very cool layout. This was released by Banner of Blood on tape first. And this is their demo from, does it say? No, it can't be that old because Volok hit, I think, somewhere last year, end of the year, later half of the year. So this is 2020. Let's say it's his new project. I'm really not sure. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks, all music and vocals by Arad Zubak. Yes, 2020, August recorded. Bonus tracks. The bonus tracks are recorded. And it's recorded in April, in the year of disease, of course, on the mighty Black Gangrene. I was kind of surprised they showed up on Black Gangrene, but once again, Alex picks quality. I love the layout on these, just how it's, I don't know what that is, but just how the label works into it. I mailed Alex, I want a black shirt with just the Black Gangrene logo, and they pressed it once, but it seems a long time ago and it's sold out. I'm rambling again. I got the comment that I should stay focused, but that's not gonna happen. This is the vinyl. What this is, hey, there we go. That's me in the corner. What this is a, let's again call it raw black metal from the US, inspired by things like the Perverse Homage stuff and all the other American labels. Now, this is by no means raw in sound, it is more raw in intention, I think, because the quality is very good. It's not cavernous. It's comparable to the riff style that Volok uses, but it's more repetitive in some ways. But yeah, it has that clean, janky guitar tone. I don't know if janky is the right word, but that clean guitar tone that also showed up on Volok a bit. This is then the full length, and to say I dived into it is would be a lie. It has segments instead of tracks, so 4 on one side and then 3 on the other side. Love the picture. Great looking photo there. Anubilis did the layout for these records. There is a printed inner sleeve, which took a beating. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, once again, another picture by him. This is recorded in May. Layout by Ainul Iblis. There it is. Recorded in May, so on the heels of the demo, and sound-wise, it's not a major step off of the demo. It's just a continuation. I'm sorry. Pure channelings of pain and suffering, dark hymns to invoke death. A big fuck you to the fake elitist scum. There always has to be, you know, some last words on the records. I have to delve into it more. For now, I prefer the Valak stuff, but no, the visuals spoke to me, and I think since we are doing the Grondwerk podcast, I am listening with more intent again to records and not just blasting through, buying. So yeah, need to give this another spin, but it is a fun record, and the fact that it showed up on Black Gangrene just had me interest peaked. Coffee. Two more. How we're doing on time? Okay. Dominion of Terror. I'm not going to talk a bunch on this because we talked to that in the Grondwerk podcast. If you're interested, just look at it. It's about that, and we don't stray off the path too far. This is Vetivrak with Dominion of Terror. A shock to the system for me because I was expecting the demo sound, or the demo sound, because I haven't listened to the splits too much. I don't have the records. They have a split with Vitala, with Snorri, and like I said in the Grondwerk stuff, if you listen to their discography and you listen to the one with Vitala, you kind of could expect that the sound was a bit pulled out of the murk and a bit more less distortion. This has straight up heavy metal riffs on it. I think Reconquering the Satan's Throne, or God Ends Here. Yeah, if you're a fan of this band from Bosnia and you know what they do, check it out, because yeah, we are the face of evil black metal. Recorded in hell during the nights of Blake in 2020. Son of Satan, the true face of evil, all in his name, God Ends Here, Reconquering the Satan's Throne, Dominion of Terror, and Marche Funèbre. So yeah, really good record, and I listened to it a few times, not a very few times. I listened to it a lot actually in the last week and a half, just because we're doing the podcast. We talked about this one and the Your Morbid Funeral. Black Records, 1 cross, 2 crosses. It is insane how good it is, and it just, you know, I say heavy metal riffs. Don't expect Eternal Champion. Expect something darker. Insane screams going over it. The last track, the Marche Funèbre, is the funeral march, but with his vocals on it. It is, yeah. That's that. Look into it. I don't know. Last thing, Stormkeep with Dautus? No, Galdrum. I keep fucking that up with Galdrum. Okay. This is the 180 gram black vinyl edition, limited to 100. Insane artwork. I think it's an existing art piece, but I'm not sure. I got this straight from Van because I knew the limited version would sell out in an instant. So there's a lot of goodies in here. There's a beautiful, shiny new Van sticker. There is the Teufelgeist Urfaust Gin flyer, which is this one. This box sold out in a heartbeat. And then there's the Devil's Elixirs. I don't know what that is, but it seems that it is a new label. I think Babylon Doom Cult had those too, but they were a misprint or something like that. And then what I was hoping for, he would throw in, was the Throne of the Mare poster. Not the Throne of the 30th Witch, but the Mare poster they did for the re-release. I have the original, but this poster is insane, so it'll go in the records now. Like I said, this is the 180 gram from Stormkeep, Galdrum. My expectations were through the roof. I don't have much time, I'm looking at the timer now. My expectations were through the roof because I listened to the demo or the promo, 1 track, 1 ambient track. By no means is this a bad record, but my expectations were so high that it was impossible for them to live up to that. They are inspired by 90s melodic synth-based black metal, especially the Norwegian scene. I would say there are a lot of influences on here, but mostly that. yeah, and it works. There's a lot of just ambient passages, if you will. By now, it's known that this is Blood Incantation folk, so there's no point in hiding this. This is the... I'm not going to give away the download because I want that one, but this is the download code Van is doing right now, so that's pretty insane download code. Yeah, it has... how many tracks? It has 1, 2 on one side and then 1, 2 on the other side. So it's basically an EP, cover art by T. Miller from '94. So yeah, not an original piece for them. 4 tracks. There is a long passage of ambient stuff on here, so the black metal tracks are not as present on here. I imagined it would be more black metal with the synths coming in. It is that, but it's also just another ambient track going throughout the entire thing. My camera is warning me that it's almost time to go, so yeah, another video will show soon. But yeah, that was Stormkeep. Still a great record. I'll delve into it some more and, you know, find the homoerotic flute Johan was talking about.